Hey Raider Nation, ready for the freshest scoop on your Las Vegas Raiders? Let's jump right into all the latest buzz, from new signings to rookies making waves, and the spots on the team that still need fixing. You don't want to miss this. OTA sessions just started and, wow, the rookies are already turning heads. The drills are fast and fierce and the competition is heating up. Coaches are watching every move, waiting to see who'll shine and earn their spot. The vibe? Electric. You can feel the excitement in the air. This week, Bleacher Report dropped two big stories. First, they laid out each NFL team's biggest roster needs. And, yep, the Raiders made the list. With some salary cap space still free and a few trade options, the team has room to make some smart moves. The second story is even cooler. It names 10 talented players who are still free agents. And guess what? A bunch of those players would fit perfectly with the Raiders. The need is clear, and the chance to grab them is there. The big question, will the Raiders make the call? Before we dig deeper, quick shout out. If you live and breathe, Raiders, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the bell. That way, you'll always get the latest updates first. Now, let's talk names. Who are these free agents? Which ones can step in and make a big difference right away? And what parts of the team still need help before the season kicks off? Let's find out. Let's jump right in, because Raiders OTAs are already shaking things up. After just one session, it's clear. This is not the same old Raiders team. The energy feels fresh, the coaching is sharper, and the players, they're stepping up. Head coach Antonio Pierce is making his mark, and so far, it's working. One big story from camp is about Kolton Miller, the rock of the offensive line. His contract still isn't settled, and without guaranteed money for this season, the tension is real. The Raiders need him locked in and focused. Protecting the quarterback is a must if this team wants to make noise. Then there's Wilkins, the star defensive tackle. After signing a huge $110 million deal, all eyes are on him. But he's still healing from a foot injury. Coaches are hopeful, but Raider Nation wants to see him dominate. That defensive line needs to be a force, and Wilkins is key to that. The roster has changed, the coaches have changed, but some challenges remain. How the Raiders handle these next few weeks could shape the whole season. With June 1st cuts coming up, the front office will have more cap space, more money, more choices, and more pressure. New players will hit the market, and the Raiders have to be ready to jump. Depth is everything in this league, and smart moves now could pay off big later. Things are moving fast. If OTAs show us what's ahead, Raider Nation, get ready for a wild ride this season. The Raiders OTAs are already giving us two big stories, and it all comes down to one thing: health. First up, Wilkins. He was supposed to be the game changer on defense, the guy with a $110 million contract. But something's not right. At practice, Wilkins was there, but not really playing. No helmet, no drills, just watching from the sidelines. Head coach Antonio Pierce didn't hide the truth. He said Wilkins' recovery has been difficult and he's not ready. That's tough news for Raider fans. The Raiders need Wilkins healthy and strong. He was supposed to be the heart of the defense. But right now, that heart is on pause. Now, flip the story. Kolton Miller, the Raiders' longtime left tackle, showed up and suited up. Even after rumors he might skip OTAs, Miller was out there working hard. That's what leaders do. He may not be Trent Williams, but he's steady, reliable, and tough to replace. Sure, he struggles sometimes against the best pass rushers, and staying healthy is a challenge. But in a league where good tackles are rare, Miller is still one of the better ones. Here's the tricky part. His contract needs fixing. The team has to decide. Do they lock him down or save money for other spots on the roster? Because every dollar matters. Paying Miller more might mean less cash to get other important players, especially on defense. But actions speak louder than rumors. Some thought Miller would hold out, but he showed up, working hard, leading quietly, proving why he's been a Raider through it all, from Oakland to Vegas, through changes in coaches, GMs, and rebuilding. Since 2018, only two players have stayed loyal, Kolton Miller and Max Crosby. That says a lot. Kolton Miller is the kind of player you build your team around. He's dependable, has great character, and is still in his prime, but just barely. By the time the Raiders figure out a new deal with him, that prime time might be slipping away. That's the tricky part for GM Tom Telesco and cap expert John Spytek. Do they bet big on Miller for stability or keep things flexible for the future? It's a tough choice, but Miller is definitely someone worth trusting. Now, let's talk about the bigger worry: Christian Wilkins. There were some early reports saying Wilkins might miss a big chunk of the season because of a serious foot injury. At first, people doubted those reports since they didn't come from big names like Adam Schefter or Ian Rapoport. But those doubts are fading fast. Wilkins has been seen wearing a walking boot, then without it, and now he's not practicing at all. Then came the real talk. Head coach Antonio Pierce didn't sugarcoat it when asked about Wilkins. He said the recovery is tough, and there's no clear timeline for when Wilkins will be back. That's more than worrying. It's a red flag. And here's the thing. Wilkins hasn't had a history of injuries. This wasn't expected. It's just really bad luck. That big free agent signing might turn out to be a misfire, but nobody's fault. But here's where the Raiders deserve credit. They planned for this. They didn't pick defensive tackles Tonka Hemingway and J.J. Peggs by accident. Add veteran Adam Butler and some undrafted players, and the plan is clear. Think Moneyball. The Raiders aren't trying to replace Wilkins with one superstar. They're hoping a group effort, a committee, can cover some of the loss. A sack here, a forced fumble there. If enough players step up, maybe they can patch the big hole Wilkins leaves. But make no mistake, if Wilkins misses a lot of time, it's a huge setback. He was brought in to lead the defense. Without him, the Raiders will need all their creativity and grit to fill that gap. That's exactly why I'm not ready to yell, "Playoffs, 10 wins," just yet. Some people might say, come on, Wilkins isn't even an all-pro. But here's the deal. Wilkins playing next to Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz could have been one of the nastiest defensive trios in the AFC. Take Wilkins out, and that strong puzzle suddenly feels like it's missing a key piece right in the middle. Sure, guys like J.J. Peggs and Tonka Hemingway have talent. Maybe they'll step up and surprise us. But right now, it's okay to be a little worried. Honestly, some days, I'm only a bit concerned. But if I'm already annoyed about something small, like my weird tan lines, yeah, then I'm pretty worried. What about you? Drop your thoughts in the comments or in the chat if you're watching live. I've heard some folks having trouble voting in polls or typing in chat. Might be an account glitch. I'll see if I can figure that out. Now, here's some good news from OTAs. The defense won Wednesday's practice while the offense took Monday. It might not mean much in the long run, but it's fun to watch. And the real highlight? Interceptions. Lots of them. Reports say Jeremy Chinn, Tommy Eichenberg, and Chris Smith II all picked off Geno Smith. And Lonnie Johnson Jr. grabbed one off Aiden O'Connell. I love seeing that energy from Jeremy Chinn. Even Pete Carroll called him out in a press conference. Tommy Eichenberg? Looks like the new coaches see something special in him. Pete Carroll and cap guru John Spytek believe they can turn him into a real player. That kind of quiet progress gives this defense hope, even as we wait on Wilkins to get back. Tommy Eichenberg didn't exactly light up the field last year, but let's be real. He was a rookie thrown into a tough spot on a team that struggled a lot. That's never easy. Now, with new coaches and better structure, we'll see if he can finally turn things around. But OTAs weren't just about defense. The offense had some exciting moments too. Word is, Geno Smith's deep throws looked sharp, like mid-season sharp. Rookie Dante Thornton burned Jeremy Chinn for a deep touchdown. And Trey Tucker also broke free for a long score. Pause for a second. This is turning into a real battle for the slot receiver spot. Is it going to be Dante Thornton, the rookie with size and speed, or Trey Tucker, now in his third year and looking more polished? If I had to pick, I'd say Trey Tucker will start the season in that role. He's got the experience, the speed, and when he's paired with a quarterback who can throw deep, like Aiden O'Connell, he really makes plays. But if Dante takes the job, that just shows how good he is, not that Tucker isn't solid. Both guys making big plays in OTAs? That's exciting for sure. Picture this. Jacoby Myers takes a break. You've got Devontae Adams, Dante Thornton, and Trey Tucker all out there, all dangerous. That speed and depth could open up the offense like never before. Back to defense for a moment. Pete Carroll also called out Jeremy Chinn, Elandon Roberts, and Eric Stokes. Great to hear about Stokes. The Raiders need more consistency in their secondary. If their cornerbacks start clicking, that could change the game. Bottom line, it's still early, no pads yet. But so far, both offense and defense are showing sparks. For a team like the Raiders, who've had some rough years lately, this kind of balance might be just what they need. When one side of the team shines all offseason, that usually isn't a good sign. Balance is what wins games, and right now, the Raiders look balanced. But don't get too excited over a few big plays. Dante Thornton isn't a star yet, and Tommy Eichenberg isn't an all-pro just because they showed up in OTAs. And don't judge Geno Smith too hard for a couple of interceptions. These practices are low speed, no pads, just basic drills like 7-on-7 and 11-on-11. It's not game day yet. Still, it's good to see both offense and defense making plays. The real point? You want to hear young players stepping up. We already know Jeremy Chinn and Eric Stokes can play. They've proven that in games. But when you hear names like Tonka Hemingway, Ashen Jeanty, Jack Bech, and Brock Bowers making plays, that's when things get exciting. About Jack Bech, there's real talk about him. A few days ago, reporter Vinny Bonsignore said if he had to bet on the top Week 1 targets, he'd pick Jakobi Meyers, Brock Bowers, and Jack Bech. That's a big deal. Bech wasn't expected to be a key player so soon. But now, he could change this offense. This might explain why the Raiders haven't been rushing to sign veteran receivers. Some fans asked about names like Amari Cooper or Akeem Butler. But if young guys like Jack Bech are stepping up, and you already have Devontae Adams and Jakobi Meyers, the need for a veteran isn't so urgent. So yeah, I'm calling him Lil Jack now. If he keeps playing like this, that nickname might stick. So here's the scoop. The nickname Lil Jack Jack is catching on. Or at least the hosts are trying to make it stick. It started with Purr during the draft, and now it's getting pushed because of the Incredibles movie reference. Whether Jack Bech likes it or not, this nickname might follow him if he keeps making plays. That's huge for the Raiders. If Bech steps up and becomes the reliable wide receiver 2, it could save the team from chasing big-name free agents like Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen. Those veterans might not cost a fortune, but they'd probably be more expensive than keeping Bech, who's already on the team. Now, let's switch gears and look at the Raiders' top needs, trade options, and cap space after the 2025 NFL Draft, based on a May 22nd article by Alex K. from Bleacher Report. Top needs, cornerback, wide receiver, linebacker, offensive tackle, edge rusher depth. It's interesting that offensive tackle isn't higher on the list, probably because the Raiders focused on that position in the draft. Top trade assets, Michael Mayer, tight end. Often talked about in trade rumors because Brock Bowers is here, but keeping both could create a strong offense. Dylan Parham, guard. If younger linemen like Caleb Rogers or Charles Grant impress in camp, Parham might be traded. Jakobi Meyers seems like a favorite of Pete Carroll and John Spytek, so he's unlikely to be moved. Cap space, $36.9 million. A nice amount left after the draft. This gives the Raiders room to sign late free agents or make moves during the season. Even with adding Jack Bech and Darren Porter in the draft, patience is key. Both were solid day 2 picks, but might need time before they make a big impact. Both Darren Porter and Jack Bech are big physical players who stand out at their positions. Porter only started 1 year in college, playing at Iowa State. Bech showed promise early as a freshman at LSU in 2021, but didn't really become a key player until his final season at TCU. Running back situation. The Raiders addressed their running back need by drafting Ashen Jeanty, a highly talked-about rookie expected to make a big impact right away. Jeanty will need to perform at a high level quickly, because there are still questions about how ready the Raiders' passing game is to challenge defenses. Jakobi Meyers is still the top wide receiver on the team, but he's in the last year of his contract. The Raiders will need to extend his deal soon. Jack Bech expectations. The nickname Lil Jack Jack is preferred over Jackhammer Jack. Bech is expected to contribute solidly this season, with a prediction of about 700 to 800 receiving yards. NFL free agency and potential additions. Shout out to Mo Moan for his article highlighting some veteran free agents still available late into the spring. Here are a few notable names still on the market. Aaron Rodgers, probably retired. Asante Samuel Jr., recovering from neck surgery, teams are cautious. J.K. Dobbins, mentioned as a potential fit for the Raiders. J.K. Dobbins' situation. Dobbins had his best season just before a strong draft class of running backs came in. He has some injury concerns. He missed the last 4 games last season with a knee injury. Dobbins could pair well with a younger back to extend his career. He can be a solid number 2 running back, like Alvin Kamara's role in New Orleans. Moan suggests the Raiders might look at a running back group with Jeanty, Dobbins, and Raheem Mostert.